Hello everybody, I'm very happy to have this opportunity to speak and explain a little bit about this practice of Lojong, Tonglen, that we are doing regularly here in Gombe. Since the beginning of COVID, every Tuesday, we are online and we practice together, and we do some weekend also sometimes. And in the first video, we have met, I explained a little bit the history of the lineage. I just wanted to say that the importance of knowing from where the teaching is coming is something we have to have in mind. No? Somehow, is that this practice appears with the Buddha, with enlightened beings. It's not coming out of the blue from some kind of fantasy or some we can say in bracket ordinary people who create something. No? It starts with a Buddha, and this Buddha explained clearly that all beings have Buddha nature, and that this Buddha nature is made of wisdom and compassion, and how to enhance or becoming aware of our own kindness and compassion. So this lineage comes from the Buddha up until our own master. And we receive from our own master this teaching, and because of this, we get the blessing, and we are able to practice, to do the best we can to achieve these qualities. And in the main practice, there is two things. Actually, we always said, all teachings said that we have absolute or ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. So the ultimate bodhicitta is somehow we can say is the view. It's just actually what we have seen just now is that we all have like a potential for enlightenment. We all have kindness, love, compassion in our heart, but it's not always easy to let it flow, no, and to use it. And ultimate bodhicitta is the view that we have it from beginningless time, is linked with the nature of all phenomena, or like we can say somehow, is the direct insight into the empty nature of all phenomena. So this understanding will be something that we get from our own insight or study on through meditation. All phenomena are not existing on their own. They are empty, meaning they are empty of inherent existence. And this is explained in the text, the root text, no? The 7 point of mind training, when the text said, consider all things are event as dream-like. No? So this just, here I'm just mentioning it. I don't have the pretense to explain this. This will be something, if we really want to go deep into the Lojong practice, we have to get this explanation from our own master, who really can explain everything, why phenomena are empty, what that means, and when we examine all phenomena, and in connection with you know, we have this kind of little, how you said, when you wake up in the morning, you remember, no, the dream of the night, and because you wake up, you are not anymore in the dream, you are like, yeah, that was just a dream, no? So you have this kind of understanding. And the teaching of the Buddha said that in the daytime, it's the same. We are not aware of it, but it's also like a dream. Everything is unreal or inexistent, like we think it is. Nothing is solid here. And this is part of what we call ultimate bodhicitta, the understanding of this. And the next point is when they said examine the nature of unborn awareness. That means that actually we have to find the mind itself, the observer. When you become aware of that all phenomena are empty, or you start to have some insight into this, then we have to look at directly at the mind. Where is the mind itself? If there is anything that you can pinpoint here, something existing. No? So this will be all this process, not with, I will say, is like a lifetime of somebody who practiced the Dharma, is what we call ultimate bodhicitta. And the more we understand this, the more we have a chance to be efficient in the practice of relative bodhicitta, because when we state that all beings are suffering, from the relative point of view is true, but to know that ultimately nothing is like this, that everything is empty, and suffering is empty too, will be helpful for us when we do the practice of Tonglen, no? Taking on ourselves the suffering of all being. At the beginning, it looked like something impossible. But if we understand a little bit the approach of ultimate bodhicitta, the view on this, that everything is empty, and the mind is not existing the way we think, it will be a little bit more, we get some space in the mind, no? And we will be able to really go on with this incredible task, to take on ourselves the suffering of all beings and to give them all victory, all good, all whatever we can imagine, to help them, no? So this will be the, I mean, again, I don't have the capacity to explain it really, but this is what we call ultimate or ultimate bodhicitta. Then from this, everything sprouts. All the practice, whatever practice we do, is from this understanding. It's not from nowhere. It's from the understanding that we have this Buddha nature in our own mind. And it's the reason why, in the practice, we do what we call Guru Yoga, practicing Guru Yoga, addressing our prayer to our own master and to all Buddha. And if we look in the text of the practice that we are using here, in this case, we are using the short prayer on page 3 with the famous Omin Choki, with just 4 lines of 4 verses. We are supplicating the root guru, like we said. And the reason why is, again, because we need the blessing to do the practice, and we need the blessing to understand ultimate bodhicitta. So we are praying the master. When we do the practice, like some of you maybe will do at home, you can, in this part, actually use any kind of prayer, any kind of Guru Yoga, a short sentence, a long Guru Yoga, whatever. The main idea is that through the practice, the prayer, we really open our heart to the master. We develop what we call mögu in Tibetan, devotion, and our heart open to the blessing of the master. And because of this, after this, generally we stay a little while in meditation. And this meditation here will be actually our own mind and the mind of the master mix and become one. And we just stay into this openness, this absolute bodhicitta for a little time. Then in this practice, generally, what we do is that in this phase of the practice, when we meditate, we are just doing also basic samatha, just being aware of the movement of the breathing, no? This kind of gentle movement of the respiration goes out and in like this. And we just use this as a support for mindfulness when the mind becomes again, distracted, agitated. And the reason for this is also because later on for the Tonglen, we will use the movement of the respiration as a support so to send out all the blessing and breathe in all the suffering. So this is the way to somehow become again and again aware of the very nature of our own mind. And before this, we always start with the Refuge prayer, this on page 1, and we repeat the prayer 3 times. And we always do this while bringing in mind the quality of the Buddha and his teaching. And again, a lot of openness and trust and faith come from this. We understand the quality of what means a Buddha, and the teaching is the pure teaching of all Buddha that will liberate all beings, and we take refuge in this. And we do this always with the motivation right from the beginning. Here we speak of relative bodhicitta. We really definitively want to help all beings. And if we want to attain Buddhahood, or if you want to say to actualize your own potential for kindness and wisdom, is because we want to help all beings. So this is called bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. Or they said sometime in Tibetan, Semkye is the birth of the mind of enlightenment. So this will be the refuge. Then after this come this famous prayer, Semchen Tamche, that I already mentioned in the first video, with the prayer that the Buddha announced when he was teaching. He teach a lot on this and teach some method of practice based on this 4 immeasurable to send all our love, compassion, etc. to all beings. So here again, in the session we do here, we repeat the prayer 1 time. But at home, when you have time and you really want to go deeper in it, you can do the practice, the prayer as much as we want. So after this, on page 3, comes this supplication to the root guru, when we are establishing the ultimate bodhichitta with the help of the master, the Buddha. And after this, then again, from the meditation, when we are, I wanted to say we come no, we said, the meditation is not really finished, but the next phase can be, if we like, the practice of Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. So this is a little bit special because it was the tradition in my own place when I was in retreat with this master, Kanyon Rinpoche. He included the Chenrezig practice, actually the whole sadhana, into the Lojong session because it's the Buddha of compassion and it makes sense. And when you do session in retreat, you have every time more or less 3 hours of time to do the session. So it's enough to include some or let's say to make an extensive practice. So it's what we do here in Gomde, but when you are at home, you can include any kind of practice of Chenrezig, you know, if you want. And when we do the practice here, we are just repeating one time the prayer to Chenrezig with the famous Jowo Kungi Magun Kuntoka. And then we are imagining, somehow we are aware that the Buddha Chenrezig, who is not outside our own mind, appears in front of us in space, and his body is white in color, and he has 4 arms, and he's sitting on open white lotus flower. On the top of Chenrezig, you can also visualize very clearly the mantra of Chenrezig, Om Mani Padme Hum. In this case, every syllables have a different color, with a lot of meaning behind, and the whole visualization should be very precise, no? Very clear. You see everything in great details, but without creating anything. It's totally empty, transparent. Nothing is, we said, graspable. You cannot grasp anything. But in essence, it's the compassion and the wisdom of all Buddha. So when we do the practice, we visualize Chenrezig on the mantra, then we start to recite the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum as much as we want. And we imagine that from the heart of Chenrezig on your own heart, all the wisdom and compassion of all Buddhas flows through, like filling the whole space, no? Everywhere there is space, and this space is full of being, and we want to help all of them. So with the practice of Chenrezig, the activity, the wisdom and compassion of the mantra just goes to all these beings. And we said generally in the practice that it's helpful to visualize these compassion activities, like light, like rainbow light or white or golden light, that are like wave after wave of you said blessing goes to all beings, and it's like a gentle rain of blessing that fall on all beings, all this light, this compassion, and it's like touching gently them and like washing away all suffering, all ignorance, anything that can make obstruction to the wisdom and compassion of all beings. And at the end of the practice, when we are almost finished with the recitation of Chenrezig, we are just aware that all beings are now completely and definitively out of suffering. They all reach enlightenment. We can say even they all look like Chenrezig if we want, no? So this is an important point. Then when we are finished with this, we imagine that Chenrezig is just melting in light, and this light is entering our own body from the top of the head or directly into your heart, and is creating a spontaneously appearing space of wisdom and compassion in your heart. So the next phase of the practice, when we start the Tonglen, we are starting by doing the Tonglen first for ourselves, just being more and more aware of this quality, no, that we have. So we just stay a little while in meditation in our heart, just being aware of this incredible amount of compassion, kindness, and wisdom that we have. And this is done in connection with the movement of the breathing. We breathe out, it's like we are more and more aware, like almost like relaxing into this kind of open space and into this kind of view that we have all this quality. We are aware of it. It's not anymore something like hidden or sort of legend. We are directly enjoying it, no? We can say something. And in the meditation, we always do this like this, and after some time, into this kind of openness and clarity, all suffering that we have, all trouble, everything that we have, become more and more visible. We cannot hide it anymore. It's there, and we look at it directly. We accept our own shortcomings, suffering, whatever. We can start from a little headache, and up to the whole ignorance that is still clouding our mind. Everything is there, we accept it, and we breathe everything into our own heart. No? It's like a kind of acceptance breathing in, and everything goes into your heart with completely limitless, open, wide open, luminous, clear. All Buddha are there waiting for this. They are all with us. And everything disappears into this open space of wisdom and compassion. All suffering, whatever, is creating problem. And mainly the fact that ignorance is still there and prevent us to see our own qualities. So everything dissolves. And again, we are breathing out, relaxing into these qualities of ours, relaxing into this. We say this in the heart, but at some point it becomes more like there is no limit to this. And again, breathing in all the suffering that we can see. We don't create suffering. We are aware of what we are aware in the moment on the session. It's not that we have for the practice to find more suffering. In the case you don't have any on the spot, it's always something. There is always something there. And everything is clearly seen and dissolved into this, into your heart, this open heart of kindness. So this will be the first part of Tonglen. Tonglen meaning sending and taking. And the advice is always to do this. Again, if we don't know the practice and we want to start, it will be our main practice somehow. Because, right from the beginning to help all beings is maybe quite something. And we have to discover for ourselves first that actually we have this the quality that the Buddha described. No? We are able to help everybody because we are all Buddha. No? And we have this kindness, this compassion, this clarity, etc. So this will help us to do this. And then after this come the main practice of Tonglen, when we will do the same process for all beings. No? And the way to do this is that we always somehow open our mind to, this depends of everybody on the practice. Generally, we said if we are beginners, we invite with us some beings, people that we know, like family, friends, or people you know from your work or whatever. No, people you really know them, and because we know them, we wish them well, and we are also aware that they all have their own problem and suffering. And then we invite them with us. They are with us in the room, and we look at them, and we can see again clearly that they all have their own amount of suffering, worries, fears, trouble. And basically, like I mentioned before, the main suffering, the main problem is marikpa, the ignorance not to know your own nature. So all of this is present, we see this very clearly, and because of the situation, we develop a lot of compassion. We really want to help, and we cannot wait but to do something. And then, when this becomes very strong in our heart, no, all this compassion is really like becoming very strong. Then from this compassion, and here it's really important to understand, it's not a creation. We are not creating something. We are aware of what is really happening right now. All these people have this suffering, and we really want to help. And out of compassion, then from your heart, this heart full of kindness, and with the help of all Buddha, we send all this blessing, everything that we can imagine that is helping beings, mainly, again, kindness and compassion. Then it can be also some medicine or whatever can help all beings. And this goes like mounting on the movement of the breathing. We breathe out all this to all this being. And again, like the practice before for ourselves, if it's helpful, we can also visualize all this kindness of compassion or whatever, like, again, endless wave of light, like rainbow light, golden light, whatever, light that are very nice to look at and will really definitively goes on all this being we want to help. And it will, again, like a gentle rain of whatever is good, all this compassion and kindness will just go on all of them and washing away all their suffering, their trouble, and mainly all kind of ignorance, all the affliction, negative emotion, everything will be like washing away, and everything will disappear now. So this will be the first part of this practice of Tonglen for all beings. Then at some point, again, like in the practice for ourselves, we will also take on ourselves the suffering of all beings. And here, this part is only Amin. Depends of everybody. The advice will be to do it only when we really feel we are ready to do it. It should be almost like what you said, spontaneous. Something that at some point it will come just naturally. And it's based again on the view of ultimate bodhicitta. The more we understand that all phenomena are dream-like, the more it will be easy to do this. It's not that we are trying to minimize the suffering of the beings, but more like the view on it is a little bit less strong, there is less grasping on it. We can take it because we know that ultimately, from the point of view of a Buddha, nothing is really existing there. No? So this will be the main practice of what we call Tonglen. And when we do the practice, the full cycle, when we are taking the suffering of all beings, then we breathe in all the suffering. We are like taking on and everything dissolve into your heart, like the phase before. No? Everything disappear into this empty space of wisdom and compassion in our heart. And again, if it's helpful, some explanation on the Tonglen said that we can also visualize or use this kind of skillful means of light. In this case, like a dark kind of smoke or dark light or something like this that come out of all this being, and we are breathing all this and everything dissolving through your heart. So this will be the basic visualization that we can do in the Tonglen practice. And then the only thing we change after is that the more we do this practice, the more our heart and mind open, and we are willing to help more and more beings. So I would say quite naturally, spontaneously, we are doing this for more and more beings. And at some point, a very important aspect of the practice, which is central to the whole Lojong thing, our own model of this life appears. And we are doing the whole practice of Tonglen mainly for our mom, the mom that we are, in debt to. She's the only reason why we are now alive, able to practice the Dharma, able to study, to meet great master, to sit and practice this wonderful practice. So the debt that we have for the parents cannot be repaid, and they are the good example of the Lojong practitioner, because they forget themselves to give everything to us, no? And without them, and especially the mom, we will not be here, no? This little helpless baby will never survive without their kindness and dedication and care, no? So this is the main reason why we should again and again do this practice of Tonglen for the mom and for the parent in general. Also because in the Tibetan tradition they said the mom, Amala, in Tibetan, is the essence, she's the appearance of all beings in one being. So everybody is into the mom, because she's giving birth to all beings. So this will be a main central aspect of the practice. In some commentary on Lojong, they almost nearly speak only of this, doing this for the parent. And some explanation said that actually from this we should go to more and more different kind of people, the people that we don't really care about so much. Some people that we meet every day in our daily activities, we are not really aware of them. We smile even to them, but we don't really care. No, we don't ask them, "How are you doing today?" And we should definitely do this practice for all of them, bringing them all in mind and doing all this practice for them. Then at some point come what some people said, the essence of this Tonglen, difficult people, or like we said sometimes, your worst enemy come into being. They are with you or with us in the room, and we do this Tonglen for them. So this will be, we say, for beginners like us, it's like the difficult part, because we don't want actually really to even think of them, no? Generally, when you see them coming on the street walk, no? When you're walking on the street, you just change and you go in the other part of the street, no? This kind of thing. We always try to escape them. In the Lojong, we do the contrary. We invite them with a big smile and we practice for them. And this will be the essence of this practice. Then we can extend our mind to more and more being in different kind of country, or as you know, in the Buddhist tradition, we have different kind of realms of existence, with more being existing. Think with kindness to all animals. Right now, we cannot count the number of animals that are killed in a slaughterhouse, for example. Suffering is everywhere. We have hell realms, you have different kind of preta, etc. People, beings, are suffering in all kind of situations. So we can think and do this practice for all of them without any discrimination. Equanimity become one of the main aspects of this practice. So this will be, in a nutshell, the essence or the more important aspect of the practice of the Lojong Tonglen. And one important thing is at the end of the last session, when we know we will finish with one last session, at the end of the session, we just stop any kind of visualization, and we do what we call dzogrim in Tibetan, the dissolution phase. Everything dissolves again, and we are just going back to the natural state of the mind. And we stay a little while in meditation without any concept anymore. So we are not doing anymore the active part, like sending blessing to all beings. We just remain a little bit in meditation. And this, according to explanation, is because to dissolve all the concept of what we have done as existing, solid, on the concept of the person, we have done everything. Everything dissolved, and we stay a little time in we said emptiness, or whatever meditation we are able to stay in. We just do this dissolution phase. And from this, after the dissolution, somehow we will just do the wish prayer, we said the dedication, wishing well to all beings. And we can use any kind of prayer we want. And after this, we'll conclude the formal, like say, sitting part of the practice. No? And after this come the rest of the day. It's not finished. And based on this, everything we have done, our mind is a little bit more open, more calm. We will use it for the rest of the day, always being aware of all beings around us and always ready to help. No? And we can use this kind of very simple visualization, like opening our heart to everybody, any moment, any time, sending them all this compassion on whatever. No? You have endless opportunities of doing this when you look in a city, when you cross people, or when you are sitting on the bus and in front of you somebody is sitting obviously not happy or like very sad or suffering. Just generally we look the other way. And in this case, as a Lojong practitioner, we look at them, smile, and try to help in the sense we are sending all this compassion and make wishes for them. No? May these people, this person in front of me become happy and meet the Dharma teaching, etc. So it's endless example of what we can do in this case. And also in this, the root text, as you know, the 7 point of mind training, we have the 59 wisdom slogans that are like slogans that we can use in our daily life that will help us also to act more in a kind of like a bodhichitta, bodhisattva way. Instead of always putting the ego first, we have this tendency always to bring back to us all good condition and etc. Here, these slogans, if we know them a little bit, and it's good to study them and to learn them by heart, then it will be like a kind of constant antidote to this kind of tendency we have to always bring back everything to ourselves. No? There is 59 slogans, and some are very concrete. They are, like for example, one slogan in the list, my favorite one, said, don't put on the zo the weight of, we said, a bull, meaning we have the tendency to always, if you have something difficult to do, you will always try to find somebody else to do it. No? And if the plan succeeds, you have somebody do the work for you, then you are almost like taking advantage of it, no? Saying, look, I have done it, it's fantastic, it's wonderful. And if this thing is not working, if the guy don't succeed, then you said it's him, it's not good, it's not me. No, this kind of tendency we have all the time. So all these slogans are about this kind of help to become aware of this natural tendency we have to do this. No? So this will be part of the practice of Lojong. It's also very important, actually, to understand this and to apply to our daily life. Also, normally people practicing Lojong try to make their own life in accordance with what we call the 6 paramita, mainly the 5 first paramita like generosity, patience, etc. So this is also part of this way, this practice of Lojong. So this will be, it was a little short explanation on this. Again, I will say the main thing here, when we really want to do this, at some point we really have to get the blessing on the transmission from a qualified master. Because of this lineage thing, we have to get the explanation of the whole thing, the whole practice from somebody who it's like a living embodiment of what we are explaining here, no? Kindness, compassion, and this will really make a difference. So this will be, or was, let's say, some explanation on this practice. I hope I don't forget anything. We are anyway doing this online every Tuesday. Like tonight, we are at 7. We will do a practice of this Lojong. And it's always possible to be part of this and to ask questions. Also, we have, we said it's not a web, like WhatsApp, I think, or something like this, that we can connect to and ask questions and be part of what is happening here, okay? So that's it for this video. Hope that all the merit of doing this will help all beings to reach enlightenment as quickly as possible. And thank you very much. See you again. See you all here in Gomde. Thank you, thank you.